Hi, Sandy here. It's been about 4 months and I finally got some photos to scrapbook. I've got 15 pages I'm going to glue together. I've already got them kind of pretty much set up and ready to glue. I've got the pictures cropped and these are my scraps from cropping the pictures. Now, I'm big on recycling and I used to put these in the recycling bin of paper, but then this, I don't know if that's really paper. So I've been putting that in the trash instead. So what do you think? Do you think they should be recycled with the paper or trash? I think trash. Okay. So this took me like an hour and a half to set up these pages, and 15 of them, about an hour and a half. This is my tag and border way of doing things, and it saves me so much time. So I've got cat pictures. I chose this paper with cats on it. So I'm going to do some pictures of Butterscotch. I don't even remember when. I don't know why this picture wasn't developed yet. He had a haircut. This is his second haircut. Like every 5 years he gets a haircut because he gets kind of matted up. And they leave some fluff on the tail and around his face he looks like a lion. So that goes there. And here he is growing back some. And then here he is all grown back. He looks so much prettier after he's had a haircut and it's grown back. For a couple of years he'll look pretty good. So, and I only do 8.5 by 11 pages, you know. And this is a tag that I made. It was started with this card, and it's got paws on it. And I added a cat sticker and a button and meow. Okay, 2019, got a haircut because he was getting matted fur. Grew back. Now he is beautiful. So that goes there. So, I don't like tape. But if you like tape, nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. I like glue sticks. And for the most part, most of the pictures that I make scrapbook pages up will never be taken apart. You know, I can't imagine why they would ever be taken apart, so I make them permanent. So there's that. And I kind of end up with this frame around them. So here's my tag. It was made from an old waffle box. I save not all the time, but I save cereal boxes and stuff like that when I'm getting low on tag bases. And then I cut up a bunch of tag bases, and then I don't save anything for a while. Okay, that one is all done. Oops, that slipped a little bit. Okay. Now, and I have a lot more photos. This is probably 1/5 of the photos I recently got in. So this is Butterscotch at Christmas. So he gets a Christmas page. So I've got this green solid sheet of paper. I didn't really want a border because one of the pictures is going to overlap this. One of my pre-made borders. So I just took a strip of scrapbook paper. And I did put this sticker of Santa on it. So I'm going to glue that on. I like to turn it sideways to get it lined up real good. Now I can leave a little gap at the edge or not. I'm not going to. Well, maybe a tiny gap, yeah. Yes, I got a little green edge right there. I need my scissors. Now this is just a scrap. And I did cut it down to size. But it's slightly too long, so I have to trim it down. There we go. Should I keep that? No, don't keep it. I do get carried away. This is my Christmas tree in the living room. It's Victorian, and it's got these 3 angels. I get all kinds of stuff from the thrift shops. And he always poses in front of that tree for me. So, and he looks so cute. So this goes here. And then we opened our presents. And then we sorted through the pile of stuff, and we threw all the gift wrap in one pile. And I actually I did this because I wanted to save some of the gift wrap, little pieces of each one to use in my glue books. And then I recycled the rest of it. But he had to get in that paper and crinkle it around. Yeah, that cat, he's 10 now. He likes Christmas. He likes to hang out under the tree. Okay, and then here he is. All of my pets have their own Christmas stockings, and he don't care about his Christmas stocking. And we don't even buy any toys or anything for him anymore. We just took a picture of him with his stocking. Of course, he's not going to cooperate, so my daughter held him. He wouldn't even look at the camera, but that's his Christmas stocking picture this year. Every year we take pictures of each of us with our stockings. Okay, now I'm not real happy with this. I like to have a little bit of a gap. I had it lined up, so I got to shift this a little bit. See, I like glue because you can reposition it if you don't wait too long. But tape, double-sided tape, you're done. And then we were playing around. This is upstairs with our Mickey Mouse tree, and I got this elf hat on. And there's Charlie, and there's the cat, and we have several of these. I've got my elf hat, and here's a snowflake headband. We have several of those, and we were just playing around taking pictures. Now this is going to overlap this a little bit. Who cares about this little corner? So there we go. We'll put that on there. And this is the back of a calendar. Well, this is the back page of a calendar where you got the 12 pictures. You can see them. And here's a cat. Here's a good Christmas picture. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to put that right there. And I need to write 2019 on here. But where? So what I've got to do is I've got this box of journaling cards and all sorts of things. And so you can see I've got this. And I'll just grab this and put it on there. It's a sticker, but I think I'm gonna well, I was going to say I'm going to glue it, but well, no, it's not sticking very well, so I am going to glue it. That pulled off too easily. And I'm not fussy about my writing. I don't write good. I write good enough. So, excuse my arm. I'm reaching for my Sharpie. 2019. And I don't need to write Christmas. I don't need to write butterscotch. We can see it's Christmas. It's in butterscotch's section. You don't really have to do a lot of journaling if you don't like to. If you like to tell stories, write that story out on a card and make it part of your page. You know, there's no limit to what you can do. Alright, on to the next one. Now, my husband is a big Chiefs fan. Kansas City Chiefs. We live a few hours away from Kansas City. That's our nearest pro football team. I don't like football. I've said it before. But he does. And he's got this Kansas City Chiefs folding chair. And he took these pictures of the cat on his chair. And he doesn't take very good pictures. This one's all blurry. But I didn't want to insult him by throwing away his pictures. So we're going to make a scrapbook page of him on this Kansas City Chiefs chair. And you know, they won the Super Bowl. I think they said, what, 50 years since they won it before? I'm not a football fan, but I'm happy they won, because it makes my husband happy, and I love my husband. And for a second I thought, oh, I got that upside down, because look at him, he's got his head upside down. He's silly. Okay, so then I've got this, and it came like this. It's got a pet paw print on it. It says 2020 Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and it's a Chiefs color. Not exactly, but close enough. You know I'm not fussy. So I'm going to put that right there, and I hope that works. Yes. And then this was a tag I made. I had this out of an ad for something and a football, and I just used my fancy scissors, and I cut these strips and glued them on, so I got the colors. And so there's a simple little tag. So I got 2020 Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Not that I really care. No, I do care. I was very surprised how much I cared that they won. All right, there's third page done. And now I just got some random pictures of him. I chose this multicolored paper. First off, I chose this. It's got some different colors, yellow and orange and blue and yellow. So I thought I should go with the multicolored, and I don't worry a lot. So, you know, sometimes the print is just not going to work. But for the most part, I don't worry a lot about, you know, getting the perfect print, because most of it's going to get covered up anyway. I did crop the side of this a little bit because I didn't want it overlapping too much, you know, covering up his arm. So I think I might have cropped this a little bit so that I have this. I don't use things like this often enough, and they just pile up. A spoiled cat lives here, all nestled in. But we're using it. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I just made a whole bunch of new borders and tags for dogs and cats. We always seem to take a lot of pictures of this cat. He is a pretty cat. He's not a very nice cat. He likes to be petted. He'll come and nudge you and insist you scratch his ears and pet him. He don't like to be hugged. He don't like to snuggle. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, I'm done. And he'll bite you. Yeah, he's a stinker. I like to put my tags at an angle, but if you prefer them perfectly straight, go for it. Okay. I was going to put this over here, and I thought, no, I'm going to center it. And it's easy to tell the center because of these hearts. Right there. A spoiled cat lives here. Alright. So it might take me an hour or less to do all of these. This video is going to be as long as it takes, unless I run out of space on my SD card. But oh, my daughter just brought that cat in here. Hey, Butterscotch, I'm making pictures of you. Let's see, who are you talking? Hey, don't. Oh, he's fine. So there's Butterscotch. This turned out kind of dark, but you know what? I just use them anyway. He's just laying around. What are you doing, Butterscotch? So like I was saying, so if this takes me an hour to get these 15 pages glued together, and like an hour and a half to have gathered them all together and chosen my borders and tags. See, I spent some time making these, and I really enjoy it. And they're not super specific. I do make some super specific, and you'll see one later that I made very specific. But this is kind of generic for a cat page, and Look how much time it saves me. Boom, instant page. This is why I love doing the tags and borders. I don't know why I have so much patience for making my tags and borders, although I do like everything else. I don't think about it a lot. I just grab something and that'll work. And sometimes things don't work and I change it, but mostly I just throw them together. and I'm usually pretty happy with it. I need to glue down his tail. I don't want it getting stuck, even though it's going to overlap his picture. So I liked how this turned out, because there's his tail and then here's his tail. Alright, so you're keeping me company there, Butterscotch? You can probably see him right there. Alright, now moving on. Butterscotch has so many pictures, he's got his own scrapbook now, because I have another scrapbook. Well, I have like 3 or 4 scrapbooks. One is of pets that I have passed on for our previous pets, and this I have my scrapbook called Our Current Pets, and I have a section in the front for the pets together. So this will go in the front section because it doesn't go in Charlie's section, it doesn't go in Rosie's section, it goes in the group photo section. And then Rosie has her own section and Charlie has her own section. Now, like, say it's Charlie's birthday and we got him, we got a cake and we're celebrating his birthday, and Rosie's sitting next to him. Well, Charlie's the subject of the picture, so it would go in his book. You know, it doesn't mean that there's nothing but just one pet in the photo in their section, but they are the subject of that photo. Alright, so this is Charlie and Rosie. I get my little margin around the edge, and you can see that I've cropped these. These were all 4x6, and I've made them fit. 3 4x6 pictures will not fit on a 8.5 by 11 page. You have to crop them down to make them fit. And I am a very small minority that will probably never do 12 by 12 pages. And that's how I get these scraps, by cutting down my 12 by 12 paper. And I get a lot more bang for my buck by doing the 8.5 by 11 pages. And I don't necessarily buy scrapbook paper. This is just colored paper that you find in the office supply area. There'll be several colors in a package. Dogs rule, cats drool. So there's another page done. Now we're going to move on to Rosie. This is Rosie's Christmas page. Now, when I do like this, that's too much bare space. I don't want all this red here and this and this. So I will usually add a photo mat when there's a lot of space to fill. So I want a little bit of a margin here. I got green and red. Okay. Now, here's Rosie. We're trying on some reindeer ears. She's not liking it very much, but we managed to get a picture of her. So this is Rosie's Christmas 2019. Now, I did have some more pictures, And in our family book, I'm going to make like the stocking pictures, a page of 3 photos with me, Rich, and Alex, and then a page of the 3 pets. You know, and that'll be a double page layout with all of our stockings. So, and like I was saying, this is Rosie's stocking, and she's not being cooperative for her picture. And there's Charlie in the picture. His hair, he blows his coat all the time. He sheds so much. So he's in the picture, but Rosie is the subject, so this goes in Rosie's book. That's not perfect. Perfectly spaced, and I don't care. Now I want to fill in this, and I have this little scrap. I think I actually cut out of a Highlights magazine, and I'm going to glue that here. And I have this whole jar of these strips that are not 12 inches long or 11 inches long. They're shorter than that, a little bit shorter, and that's what I use these for. Or I can use them for, you know, whatever my imagination tells me to use them for. So I do save those strips because they're good for just filling in some space. Okay. So we'll put that right here. I think I'll put it right up to the edge. And then this is a border that I had in my stash. Here's a cute little puppy, and she's not a puppy, but she's the same color with floppy ears. Here comes Santa, and just threw some other things on there. My cat's playing with stuff on my table. I hope you're enjoying having my cat with us. He's just on the, maybe you can't see him, he's right there. Okay. And now I need to add, here's a Christmas wish list. I could write it here, but I'm going to write it right here. 2019. Now, I don't glue these parts that hang out very much because I really don't want the glue on the photos too much. But once it's in a page protector, it's going to be just fine. Now he is sitting on my pages that I need to work on. Butterscotch, you got to move. 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 Butterscotch, get off. Okay. Here's just some cute pictures of Rosie, random pictures of Rosie. This one I think is really adorable. And I just chose this paper. This is a very common, it's in a inexpensive paper, scrapbook paper pad. And I've bought it several times over the years because it's so, there's several different prints. Of course, you've probably seen this print before. Look how cute he is. Look, she's so cute. Now Rosie, for years and years, we let our dogs on the couch. They're family, you know. Well, our couch always smelled bad. They chewed it up. We would go to the thrift shop and buy another sofa and put the old one out on the curb. In our area, if you put something on the curb, it's free. Anybody can come and pick it up. But it is just nasty, and nobody would want that. So we would have to actually take our couch to the recycling center where they, you know, you can get rid of furniture and stuff there. They don't recycle that. But our couches were so bad. And then like 3 years ago, I saw this sofa in an ad at Menards, and we were at Menards. And I told my husband, let's go look at this sofa that I saw in the ad. And on the spot, we just decided to buy it. And then we decided, well, we don't want the dogs ruining this couch. We need to enforce a rule, no dogs on the couch. And, yeah, right, they're not going to stay off the couch. And you know what? Nobody was more surprised than us that they did stay off the couch. And, but Rosie now, look at her feet. Her feet are on the floor. She's not on the couch. Her feet are on the floor, so she bends the rules. Yeah, but she don't get her whole self on that couch because she knows she's not supposed to. See, every one of these, you can't see in that one, but her feet are on the floor. She's not allowed on the couch. She's so funny. All right, another page done. Wasn't that fast and easy? And now this one. We're doing Rosie now. Here's a picture with Rosie with my husband. This is my husband's legs here, and my husband's legs here. So we'll get those on. And just whatever mood I'm in, I'll put the tag in this corner. The tag can go in any corner. It doesn't have to go in up in the top corner or the bottom corner or the left corner. It can go in any corner you want it to. Yeah, Rosie's 4 years old. She was only about a year old when we got that new sofa. And then this, I printed this from Pinterest. It got the droopy ears. It just reminded me of Rosie. And then I put Best Buddy sticker on there. This is a little charm, I guess you call it, in scraps from Rosie. See, now this was a custom thing I made. Sometimes I will make a custom tag or border, but mostly I try to make them fairly generic that they can go on almost any page. So that goes there. And then this, I would have normally just cropped that off, but this was my plan, man's best friend. And I'm going to put that right here. And I've had this for a while, and I'm glad I finally found a use for it. Actually, I think I made that. I had the man's best friend word, and I added it to this bone. I just now realized that, yeah, I made that. Sort of. I didn't make the word, I didn't make the bone, but I put the two together and kind of created it. So here's Rosie. There's another picture with Daddy. There's my daughter. This is the downstairs sofa. This sofa, we've got rid of it now. But we don't use our living room downstairs. And so I buy an old sofa from the thrift shop. And we usually have it under the picture window. And they like to get on that couch and bark at everybody going by. And their toenails snag the sofa, and it's just crap. We spent about $40 on a couch, and it'll last a couple of years, and we'll just toss it and get another one. So this is the ratty couch, and it gets dirty and smelly. All right, see, here's a better picture. See, her feet are on the floor, and she's sound asleep on the sofa. But now downstairs she can get on the sofa. I allow, and she knows the difference. She knows she can be on the downstairs sofa, but not the upstairs sofa. She knows. Alright, and this is a border I made. Just some green scraps. I made a bunch of borders and tags using scraps of actually dog and cat paper, but I don't know why I used this one, but that's okay. I think the things I was putting on here was just too busy for the print paper. So I just made that border. I just used up a lot of things that I've been collecting in my dog book. I keep everything for, by subject in my books. Alright. There's another page done. It says, have a positively great day. Now this one, I had these, and then I thought, well, should I wait till I have another picture, or should I go ahead and make the scrapbook page? I thought, I'm going to go ahead and make the scrapbook page. And then I found this. This was a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and you cut off the apart the different things. And this postcard size, I don't use those very often, so yay, I'm going to use this one. And it actually coordinates. You see this dog here, and here's the same dog right there. Maybe you can't see it too well. So I am actually using the coordinating stuff, which I never do. And you know, I could add more stuff, but that's all it needs, because I got the print. Let the print speak for itself. And I think that's all this page needs, and I don't need to write the name or anything. And often I will add the year, but not on every page, because I do put them in the book in consecutive order, or reasonably consecutive order. So if you're seeing 2019 on a few pages, then you know basically what point in time you're at. You know, and going back over the years, you can tell. My books, their sections start with their puppy or kitten pictures and move on through life. Okay, now we're moving on to Charlie. Now, Charlie's pages were a bit hard to make, because if you watch my videos, you know that he just recently died about 3 weeks ago. So this is Charlie's last Christmas. Here he is with his Christmas stocking, and here he is with the snowflake headband on. And I chose this, just a simple paper print. So we'll put that here. Now I could have cropped this off, but no reason to. And I wanted my Mickey Mouse Christmas tree there. There's my husband in the background. So there's Charlie with his Christmas stocking. I think I'll lay this down here for the moment, and I get this more centered between the border and the edge. Okay, a little lower there. Okay, and this is a Christmas border that I had made. I couldn't find any more with pets on, with dogs or cats, but here's a sweet little deer. It's got ears like his, sort of, not really. And it's like mom and a pet, and here's mom and a pet. So, and I added some rhinestones. And I didn't just make these for the page. I have a whole book of, I have a lot of pre-made stuff that I had already made. And I've got lots of videos of me making borders and tags if you want to try it. It's just a wonderful, and I started out wanting to do something with my extra little bits and pieces and scraps, you know, that just keep piling up, and you've had them for years and years, and what are you going to do with it? And so that's how I started making these, and it's just really been a great fit for me. I really like it. All right, there's Charlie. Charlie's last Christmas. Oh, I got to add 2019. I think I'll just add that right here. Now, this page was kind of hard for me to make. The next few were kind of hard to make. I hope I don't lose it. So here's what happened. It was 3/29/2020, 9 o'clock p.m. All of a sudden, Charlie is limping, and he can hardly walk. And you see his leg? You see his leg sticking out straight there? You see that? Well, we were pretty worried about that. He couldn't hardly walk at all. It's 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. So we think, well, all right, tomorrow morning we have got to get this dog to the vet. So 10 o'clock at night, we get him settled down on a blanket in our room. And We go to bed. 11 o'clock. He's crying. He's suffering. No, we can't wait till tomorrow. We have to take him to the very expensive emergency vet. And this is, you know, we got this COVID-19 going on. So, I called to see what measures they're taking, and I just heard a recording. If you have an emergency, just bring your pet and bring him in. So we get there, and you can see inside the reception area. They're at their counters. There's a couple of ladies at the counter. 11 o'clock at night, like 11:20 by the time we get there. This says, "I love my best friend." Anyway, so they got the telephone number posted, and you got to use your cell phone and call that number and explain to them what's going on, and they will come out to your car and get your pet. You can't come in the building. So, and they said, "We're swamped." We're just swamped today. Great. So it was a good 20 minutes more. It was close to 11:30 or 11:45 by the time they got him in. And then a little while later, she called me on my phone, and she says, what we did was we got him in a sling and got him in a standing position, and we put his legs with his toes curled under, so he's standing on the top of his toes. And normally any dog don't want to stand on his toes like that. He would put his pads down like that. She said he's not doing that. She says, "We think he's got a pinched nerve in the spine. It could be this, it could be that." She said he needs an MRI, but we don't do MRIs. You have to take him to the Iowa State University, which is about, I'm not really sure where it is. I think it's in Des Moines, but I'm probably wrong. I think it's 3 hours away. Could be further than that. I don't know. So, she said, and then after the MRI, they may need to do surgery, which could cost thousands of dollars. You're going to need to carry him outside to go to the bathroom. He's not going to be able to walk. He's going to need recovery time. He's not going to be allowed to run around, he's going to have to be still. You're going to have to keep him calm. And he's 95 pounds, and he's not fat. We can't carry it. We had a hard time getting him out to the car and into the car to get him there. We can't carry him outside to go to the bathroom. We can't do it. So I said, "Well, what about euthanization?" She says, "Yeah, you're probably making the right choice." So just after midnight, we had him put to sleep. And it was so sudden. And I asked the vet, "Does that come on suddenly like that?" She says, "Yeah, sometimes it can. Just his spine." And he would have been 10 in May. So he was pretty close to 10. I can tell he's got a little stiff joints now and then. Not enough that I would take him to the vet and get it treated yet, just minor. Sometimes he would slip and fall on the laminate floor because it's smooth. Not very often, just 2 or 3 times I saw him do that in the last several months. But I wasn't worried about anything, so maybe this was something that was coming on for a while. I don't know. But it was just so sudden and devastating. So I've got his picture. These are before anything happened to him. And he blew his fur all the time. He's blowing his coat all the time. And every week we would get I learned we don't have any carpet. And we used to sweep the floor every week, and the dog fur would fly, and then we'd mop the floor, and then the mop would be all full of fur. And I've learned to use one of them cheap stick vacs from Walmart. I think it's I don't know, Hoover, maybe? I don't remember. But we would fill that, look, it's not if it doesn't pick up a lot, but we'd fill that up 3 times when we would clean the house. And it worked great, because then the dog fur wasn't flowing around. It just suck it up and that's it. So he shed so much, and every week we would clean up that hair. And now I'm cleaning house, and yes, I do have Charlie or Rosie and Butterscotch, but they just don't shed like he did. And I fill up that stick vac, it's only half full. I don't have to empty it during my vacuuming now. And you know what? I miss his dog fur. I do. I miss his dog fur. So he was born 5/2010, and he died 3/29/2020. It was actually 3:30 because it was just a few minutes past midnight. And they did let us into, they made us drive around back, and they had this small room. It was like a foyer, and it was pretty small, and like a glass door, a door you go into, and then another door to go into the building. And that's where they were doing their euthanizations with this COVID, you know, because they didn't want to let anybody in the building. But we were able to be with him, and it was hard. He was one of my favorite dogs I've had. He was a sweet boy. He was sweet. So it says, "You have left my life, but you will never leave my heart." And Charlie. Now see, I do a life story book on each pet of my pets as they live their lives. I start with their puppy pictures, and I just add pictures just like I've been doing. And then you have to do the final pages, and they're hard. And these are just some things. They had a greeting card. It was just plain white, and on the inside, those we have held in our arms for a little while, we hold in our hearts forever. This is why you scrapbook. You want to keep the memories. And they gave us his footprint. Look how big that footprint is. And I cut that down. And this was on the cover, and it was just solid white. You can see it's a little bit textured. I don't know if you can see that, but that's why I used my distress ink and made it so that I can see it. And then I recently came across this. We were saving it for his scrapbook before we knew any of this happening. My daughter was 9 when she made this when we got him. She says, "I got a puppy named Charlie. He's 3 months, a golden retriever mix. He's a boy. He was the last of 6 puppies. His ears are crooked. He is adorable, but he is a naughty boy, and he follows our dog Max everywhere." So that's pretty sweet. And then this I came up with from my words. And this is just an extra picture I had, and I'm going to put that there. And then I made this tag, the Rainbow Bridge, love always. So sometimes scrapbooking is hard, but it's a treasure, and this is why we scrapbook, to preserve our memories, good, bad, all of them. So this is the last page I'm going to do in this video, and I do have several more pictures. And like I said, it's been 4 months. I have our Christmas pictures. You can see that I did the pets Christmas pictures, but I have our family Christmas pictures to do. So there will be another video. No crying. So I'll wrap this up, and that's 15 pages in under 2.5 hours. And doing the tags and borders just makes things so easy. That's going to cover him up a little bit, but that's alright. We can see his beautiful little face. And I got to trim this off. I had a hard time deciding what kind of paper to use for the background. There's so much stuff I didn't want print paper with dogs on it. So I have this paper that I found at a thrift shop or garage sale. Yeah, I found a whole bunch of packages of this stuff that you would print newsletters and stuff on it, and it's faded flowers on both sides. Both sides are identical, and I thought, well, that's kind of good for a final page. So there, I've done 15 pages, and thanks for watching, and the next video is going to be happier. So subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.